Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're a new viewer who has just clicked on this video. I think my SP topic tends to get wider reach, so welcome. I'm a manifestation coach and today we are talking about your journey with your specific person right now because you're manifesting, you're going through all the stages, you're changing your beliefs, and it might seem to you like right now maybe your SP isn't changing, you're not seeing any of those shifts happening. So what's going on? But what if I told you that actually your SP is conforming? And I'm going to get into all of that in this video, and it's happening in ways that you can't even see right now, but I'm going to explain it to you guys, help it be more reassuring and encouraging, which is usually the goal with all of my content. So it's going to be quite motivational and clarifying, hopefully. So stay tuned to hear my advice around this. If you would like the extra support and you want to get one-to-one help, you maybe have some questions about your specific experience and circumstances, then I'm here to help as a coach. I am a paid coach with services like emails, video calls, which I launched over a year ago now, and that is probably one of my most popular purchases. But you can also get a more affordable version with my membership, where I do still give you guys exclusive content that you get to vote on. So the join button is right below the screen. You can sign up just for 1 month if you want to test it out. But yeah, everything else is in the description box, and now let's jump into it. You are probably closer than you ever have been to manifesting your specific person. If you have been persisting, you haven't been letting the spiraling or doubt, whatever might be coming to mind, get you down and stop you, then you are closer than ever. And this video, I'm going to get into it right now about why you are closer than ever, what's actually happening, and what kind of movement you're probably experiencing. Before you do see those physical results come in, your SP is conforming internally. I do say this in my videos a lot because it's easy to forget when we look externally around the world as if everything is separate to us when it isn't. With manifesting, we learn, everything is a reflection of our thoughts, which is not the way life typically goes, which is why there's so many phrases about, you can only control so much, blah, blah, blah. That's not the case. We actually control all our relationships by shifting our thoughts into more positive, or sometimes more negative. But you are going to be closer than ever, and you're actually experiencing confirmation, no, that's not the right term, conforming from your SP already, but it does happen internally, the same way it happens with you, which was my point about how in all my videos I say it starts from you, your mindset controls it, but also with your SP, whilst you're putting that work in, they are conforming and shifting because it starts internally, right? They can't just suddenly for no reason, as if a magnetic field is pulling them into you, just do an action and be like, oh, was I asleep? What's going on? No, it starts with their thoughts, their feelings, inspiration. So it starts in their mind internally first before it becomes truly externalized into your 3D reality. So just because you are maybe right now not seeing movement, not getting, conforming visibly and not getting the communication and like visible movement in front of you, this doesn't mean that nothing is happening. So like I said, it starts internally, and your doubt might be, well, what if I'm doing it wrong, or why is nothing happening? Thinking the manifestation isn't working, or it's just too difficult, whatever it might be. It really doesn't mean that, okay, nothing's happening, it's all wrong, it's all negative. Just because you're not seeing it right now doesn't mean that behind the scenes a lot is not shifting for your SP. You have to remind yourself of that and keep it in mind. So the moment when you start to think that, or you've been persisting but you're not seeing the results, I know it's frustrating and hard to have that blind faith, but this is usually around the time where people start to spiral or even give up because they're not seeing it. So don't fall into the trap of reacting to your 3D to the point of, you're not seeing what you want, and therefore you create assumptions based on that you're not getting your manifestation. It is working, it is happening if you are putting in the effort, right? So if you're following what you need to be, applying repetition, working on your mindset and your thoughts around your manifestation, around your specific person, right? That actual relationship, whether it physically exists yet or not, it is going to work, but don't fall into that trap or, fall into that typical, stereotypical area of thinking, okay, well, I'm not seeing anything. Let me look at the 3D and then take what's in front of me. Another thing a lot of people might do, and that is very normal, but check the 3D for proof. So again, it's a cycle of you're not seeing it, you create assumptions, you check for proof, you check for movement. Or why has it been 3 weeks? Let me check up on them. Well, is the third party still there? Let me check up on them. First of all, you're not guaranteed to see anything positive, so why even look? It's just the 3D reality. Keep telling yourself, it's just the 3D, it's just the 3D. My mind is what matters, right? As delulu as that might sound, we know what it means when it comes to manifesting. So checking the 3D for proof, and therefore, potentially you would be shown the visible movement if it got to the point of, some kind of physical or verbal communication or movement from your SP, but you're looking at that and saying, there's no movement, nothing's happening. When behind the scenes, chances are you're getting a lot of movement, but you look at that and then you say, it's not working, nothing's happened, nothing's changed. So you're creating a cycle and reaffirming something negative. It's almost like unraveling I don't want to say completely, obviously, because you can't ruin your manifestation in this way, but what's this hair doing? But it's almost like unraveling the work from that day or the last set of affirmations that you did. You are unraveling and undoing it because you're letting your mind stay in the mindset of the old story is still true. I'm still clinging on to the old story because you're not letting it go. You're still looking to the 3D, which holds the remnants of the old story still in the 3D. Whatever was going to fade out with your persistence and your repetition of affirmations, it's still clinging on because you're not mentally letting go of it. So getting to a point of persisting without needing proof is literally how the whole process comes together and literally completes itself, because we don't control the how. Manifesting just happens. So if you are constantly needing validation and reassurance from your SP or something visible in your 3D, you're giving away your power as the, creator of your physical reality, the person who manifests your physical experiences. And you're saying, well, I need proof, I need evidence. And you're not letting everything, get to the next process, the bridge of events to occur, the end result to fully come in, because you're holding back that movement. So remind yourself that you looping your affirmations and trying your best to persist, even if it's not perfect, that's completely normal and fine. But then you're letting it, kind of be undone a little bit and letting the 3D take hold and be the one to take control, right? Externally, giving away your power just to your external reality and say, oh, well, circumstances are like this. If you have been affirming and persisting, then you are doing it correctly. You are creating shifts and positive movement. So keep reminding yourself of that. It doesn't have to be visible right in front of you for it to be happening. So try and remind yourself of that mental state, the end result. How would you think? What thoughts would you actually have if you were with your SP now, getting ready for date night with your SP right now? Because I think this video is going up on Saturday evening for members. So ask yourself, what are these kind of thoughts? What does that end result look like to me? I can imagine that life. I can imagine having that life. So keep reminding yourself of that mental state of it's already done. It's already mine. SP is mine. I'm with them. They're already my partner, they're my boyfriend, they're my girlfriend, whatever it may be. Keep reminding yourself and try to stay in that mental state, because that's what's really going to propel it forward. So with your affirmations, they are taking effect. Again, it's usually more intangible, invisible shifts that happen, at least at the beginning, because your SP is going to be hearing, not physically hearing, but taking in the affirmations and the repetition that you put in. So as long as you keep persisting, being consistent, really saturating your own subconscious, it therefore has to also saturate their subconscious, their mind, their inspired action, everything the way it would naturally conform for them. So remember that you are looping your affirmations is affecting them. It's really, tied into thought transmission, which happens straight away. It's like an automatic process. It doesn't have a delay or, work 50-50. If you apply it correctly, if you really mentally imagine, visualize, repeat your affirmations, and, kind of in your mind, command your SP to take action, to conform, to only have eyes for you, that they don't have free will, reminding yourself of these things, will have thought transmission. And sometimes because you don't see the end result of that, it might feel like, well, did it work? Just tell yourself it worked straight away. So for your own sake, to make things easier, being able to affirm consistently, making that a goal, setting that an intention for your day, your regular schedule, and trying to be calm in a calm, confident, collected way, the 3 C's, and just affirming from that state and trying to get into that mental state, be confident, whether that means working on your self-concept, that would be perfect as well. But just for your own sake, to not spiral and waver and say, I'm not going to look to the 3D. My reactions would be irrelevant. It doesn't mean anything. I'm going to stay focused on my affirmations and persist in that way, because being able to be consistent, but also stay calm and, not so reactive, getting out of that reactive state, it's only going to benefit you and make the whole process a lot easier. Usually, literally the moment you're about to see results and, for that visible result to come into your physical reality, people want to give up. like I said earlier, 90% of people, most people will have that urge to spiral or say it's not working and, completely lose motivation and give up because you haven't yet seen the results, but they're literally around the corner. Like I said, if you have been putting in that mental effort, they are around the corner. They want to be yours. They're being magnetized to you. So don't let your thoughts hold them back. Your SP and the results, I mean. So they are going to happen. So don't be part of the people who do give up and where they, would assume manifesting doesn't work or they just don't consciously practice it because they think, well, I didn't get what I wanted. This didn't work. But you give up because you're not seeing it yet. But the results are around the corner. So try and remind yourself of that. Just assume that your specific person is, magnetized to you, drawn to you. They can't stop thinking about you. You are the person that they are working to be with, or they're getting closer and closer to you, not as an affirmation, but as a mindset, right? So to remind yourself and encourage yourself that it's working, it's happening. You're getting closer and closer with every moment. It's physically conforming. The movement visibly will show up any second now. Those kind of things are encouraging on top of your actual affirmations that you have it now, but to reassure yourself of the process, like I said, so that you feel calm, you feel confident, you know how manifesting works, you know that you're on the right track. That's the kind of mindset and type of thoughts you can have to encourage yourself and keep going to, keep your motivational levels high. Quite frankly, your SP is thinking and feeling those things. Why wouldn't they be? That's how manifesting works. If you're thinking it, they're thinking it. So your 3D reality will conform, it will catch up. Sometimes, quite often there is a delay. Like I said, affirmations are usually not instant, where, you instantly manifest because that would be perfect and I wouldn't need to be a coach. But your 3D will catch up. So remind yourself of that and all the encouraging points I've told you guys so far. It will help you a lot, help you stay calm and on track. So yeah, you just need to persist because your SP is responding. They are thinking and feeling those things. You just need to stay consistent and then you are on track. Do your best to ignore the doubt, set it aside and flip it back around and just persist. So I hope this was a useful video for you guys and gave you guys some encouragement and reassurance. If you did enjoy, please do thumbs up, subscribe, turn on that notification bell, and I'll see you next time.